Let's get a little bit more work done on this Yerf Dog go-kart here. Try to finish it up.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. All right, a while back I did a video on this go-kart my buddy drug out of the snowbanks in Idaho, brought up here to me and sent down here to me in San Diego. We got it running, but it has a lot of things that need to get finished on it. So I think we got most of that stuff either here or on the way. So let's get started. This was one of the issues we had with this thing. The ball joints are broken out. You can see they have like a plastic cap on them. The body of it's made out of plastic, and I jimmied it up here with a hose clamp so we could test drive this thing. Anyway, they sell replacements for these things pretty reasonably. I don't remember what it was, $30 for 4 of them. I already changed them out on this side. You can see the new ones, all metal construction. They have a snap ring. So I'm going to take this bottom one off. I'll take that hose clamp off, and then I'll show you how I get these off. I suppose there's other ways to do it, but I'll show you how I did it, and we'll throw these new ones on. That little hose clamp solution was definitely a farm fix. You know, it was able to hold that on there enough that I could drive it up and down the driveway, but we'll get that off of there. It's a 19 millimeter on the bottom, and then you can hold the ball here with a 12 millimeter. So we're going to take both of these off. Yeah, I'll get it in there once this thing starts turning. Easy enough. Well, maybe not that one. I'll have to get this one out of the way first down here. Yeah, you can see it turns, so that's why you hold it with that 12 millimeter on the bottom. Can't do it holding the camera, but I'll knock it out real quick. Let the wheel hold it, see? One of these days my channel will be big enough I can hire a camera person, but until then, just got to deal with it like I do. On the other side, I ran into a little issue that this little stamped steel area where the ball joint goes in got kind of bent up. So I got a couple of hammers here, and I did a little bit of what I call percussive persuasion. You know, beat all heck out of it with a hammer until you get it flat enough. But you know how it goes. So we'll lift that one up and out of the way, then we'll have access to that one. We'll get it off, and then I'll show you what I did to get that off. There's probably several ways you can get this thing out of here, but what I did on the other side, since this is plastic and it's all old and brittle, that's why they break, is I just wallered the heck out of it with a chisel and a hammer, mostly on the bottom. You might be able to even bust the top off, because that's what happened to the bottom ones. The top completely separated there. See that? There's some metal in there, but it's hard plastic around it, or maybe there isn't any metal in there. It kind of feels metallic, but a couple good hits with the chisel broke the other side off, so I'm going to do that here. We'll knock that one off and we'll get the new ones in. And you can see how this is a little bit bent right there, so we'll adjust it till the ball joint fits in there nicely. Sometimes it's just fun to beat things with a hammer. So there we go. Let's get the new ones in there. I'll open them up and I'll show you how they go on. That top one might be a little bit bent as well. We'll have to see when we get there. Now if they don't go straight in, which they didn't on the other side either, you can put the nut on the bottom and just give it a good tappy tap with the old hammer. I'll use a brass hammer here so I don't mess up the threads. want to check to see that it's flat all the way around here so that the snap ring fits flat in there. So if the snap ring doesn't go all the way in, then there's a chance it popping out. So that's why I said you may have to adjust these things if it's been abused like this one has, or you know, if someone's been beating on it with a hammer. If you have a ball joint press, you could use that. These ball joints aren't quite as tough as putting them in a car per se, so there you go. And it's not quite snapped all the way down. There we go. I'll show you that. See how it's all the way in, all the way around. So there's the upper one. We'll do the same thing on the lower one. Like I said, I may have to adjust this a little bit right here. Definitely looks like it's bent up a little bit, but we'll see. And the lower one went in nice. It's always nice when that works for you. My snap ring pliers is just a little bit on the small side for this, but it does work. There we go. Now we'll put the spindle back on here, put the washers underneath, and tighten these up. Already got the top one tightened up. We'll tighten the bottom one up now, and then we'll be done with this part. Remember to torque them properly, which is tight AF. There we go. All right, now clean up our mess. 4 new tires showed up on my doorstep here the other day, so I guess it's time to get them changed out. I used my Harbor Freight tire changer to break the bead on these. They broke pretty easy, and since I don't really have a setup for that small of an axle on that thing, I kind of did a modified deal. I stuck this in the center here, and then I used the Harbor Freight tire iron, or whatever you call it here. And I was able to get the bead off. Now I don't know about getting the second one. On this one, took a little bit of struggling and some fighting, but I got it off. It wasn't too terrible. And then I just used some Armor All, actually as tire lube. Probably not the best, but not the worst either. This thing is gonna go 20 miles an hour, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'll get this other one off. And there's the front tires. Those are probably going to be harder. Smaller diameter wheels are harder to deal with. Who knows? I might sawzall the old ones off. I don't know. But new tires. 4 new tires. We're getting close. I think we'll get a battery in here and then just do a little bit more cleanup on it. I don't think I even did an oil change on this engine. And I don't think I have an air filter in here. So I'll have to take a look at that. But he wanted to make sure that it starts, runs, tires hold air, and the lights work. I think these lights work, but we might have to do something about all this duct tape. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. The lack of air filter has been verified, so we got one on order. And batteries installed over here. Held on with a giant twisty tie for now. But done things correctly here. Let's see, switch on this side on, hold the brake down over here. Starts up nice and easy. So let's start with these lights. All right, with the tape removed, we can see what it was hiding here. Looks like this bracket, there's plastic, broke off. So I have a couple options. I could just make like a piece of metal strap to go around here and just utilize this with the bolt hole. I could try my old plastic welder as well. I might try it just because I have it. And I guess the biggest issue is going to be that this plastic is probably old and brittle. So when I try to take this off, that'll determine. If this comes off, well, then I'll try to plastic weld it. It did come off of the roll bar, so it's not too terribly brittle yet. And here's my plastic welding setup. If you search my channel for plastic welding or plastic welder, it'll come up. I did a little video with this fixing a motorcycle fairing, but this thing's been very useful. I use it for all kinds of stuff. Anything that breaks around the house that's plastic, I've been using this. So if you're interested in one of these, they sell them on Amazon. I don't know if I put a link on there, but you can just search plastic welding gun and it'll come up. So I'll show you this once I'm done with it. Okay, here it is after my initial welding here. I put 4 staples in it and you can see it's pretty solid. Now, whether or not I'm going to be able to open that up and get it over that bar up there, that remains to be seen. But actually, I think that bar might come off and I can slide this over the edge. But now I have to just cut these off, and then I have this tip here I can put on here that'll heat up, and I can go over that. And then on the inside, I'll also melt that a little bit to give it a little bit extra strength. But I think this is going to work. There's the before, and there's the after. I still have to get the wires routed a little bit better, and I'll probably just zip tie them up here, but that will be nicer. Those look a lot better now. I just kind of zip tied everything up here. It's not beautiful, but it's on there. So I think we get the air filter and take her for a nice test ride, and we'll be wrapping her up soon. High quality air filter here from probably from China. I don't know where it's from, but I just got to track down some screws. I don't know if I have the ones for this or not, but yeah, it looks like it doesn't quite line up either. Oh, there you go. It's better. Almost. Ah, there you go. So 3 screws for that, and then of course this cover is broken. But if I get, what do we got? 5. If I get 4 out of 5, that'll be pretty good. Well, she's all together and running. Now let's terrorize the neighborhood. Well, it doesn't steer very good, at least not on the pavement. There we go. Get it in the dirt. Woohoo! Solid rear axle. I think that's it. We fixed a lot of stuff on here. Ball joints, tires, the lights. Got an air filter in there. I pulled the carb off after my last test drive there and cleaned it out again, because this thing has been sitting since I got it going, which has been a good minute. And oh yeah, one thing I did off camera as well, the exhaust was rattling around, so I put a couple of new bolts in that to hold the exhaust down. Added a few more zip ties, but I think she's ready to head back to the ranch in Idaho and have some fun. Oh yeah, might want to do something different with that battery, but for now that's going to work. I think you can probably buy a rubber strap for that online for a couple bucks, but I'll let them know. I am not going to fabricate something because it's going to take just too long. And a little go-kart like this is a lot of fun, especially if you can put it together for not too much money. I don't know, the tires probably were the most expensive thing. If you wanted to cheap out, you could have maybe put some tubes in there or filled them with some slime, and they'll probably hold, but it doesn't take a whole lot to get something like this back up and running. All right, if you are liking my content, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.